So let's have a look at some anvil types. This first one here is an old English anvil made by Peter Wright, so it's called the Peter Wright anvil. And so the parts of the anvil at this end here is the heel, you have the pritchett hole, the hardy hole, the face, step down here to the table part, which is a little flat area, and then out to the horn or bick going out to the point here. So this metal out here then is quite soft. It might be the steel or the old wrought iron. And then this surface up here, the top piece here, that's nearly always a hardened metal. So it would have a higher carbon content. So it might be made of something like medium carbon steel. So it can take the wear and tear of the work being done. The hardy hole then is for holding different tools. And the pritchett hole might be for punching holes in the piece of metal, and there's another tool that goes into that as well that holds down your piece of metal if you're splitting it, called the holdfast, and that was often put into the pritchett hole as well. So going down to the lower part of the anvil, the centre piece here would be called the waist, and then you have the feet or the base of the anvil. So you can see then it's mounted onto a wooden base. Just make sure that's all solidly clamped down, and more than likely then you'll have it fastened, bolted to the floor maybe as well. The more solid it is, without any rocking or moving, is what you want. The heavier it is, the better as well. So the minimum weight that you want for an anvil would be about 30 kilos. So the next anvil I want to show here is a cheaper anvil from Weaver. This one is about 50 kg in weight. It has a little table coming down, it has the surface here, the face, it has the hardy hole, there is no pritchett hole, and it has the horn and bick coming down. Notice as well the way it's bolted down. I made a bracket going the full length of it, and use screws then going down, heavy screws that go down into the timber, and they go down a good distance. I drilled pilot holes and so on for them. And this long acts like a large washer as such. It stops a corner breaking on the anvil when we're hammering. Another point about this anvil to keep in mind as well is to check the anvil, if you're buying a new one, that it has the hardened surface. This particular one, the surface here is quite soft. So you can check that in the details buying an anvil. It's called the HRC, most commonly used, and it should mention that in the details. I want to be getting up into the 45 to 50 HRC for the hardness of the anvil surface. So this larger anvil is my main anvil in the forge, and it has a shelf piece coming out here. It's what's called a German style anvil. Again, it has the hardened face on the top. It has the hardy hole, the pritchett hole. It has the horn coming out on one end, and the face goes out to a point on this end as well. I made a steel base for this one and bolted the steel base to the floor, and the anvil then is just sitting on the base, and it works perfect, really solid. This anvil here is over 200 kg in weight. So you can see around the edges of the anvil, I rounded the corners to soften it from the sharpness, so there's no sharp corner in it. So I've also got this chain with a weight on it, and that's simply to hold down a piece of metal if I'm doing work on the piece of metal and I need it held down on the anvil. So this here is a piece of aluminium that I have, and it protects the surface of the metal if I'm punching a hole through a piece of metal, that if I'm coming out the other side, or if I'm using a chisel, something like that, that you'd never let the tool hit the face of the anvil and mark it. So you're always trying to avoid that from happening, and that, like a simple piece of aluminium, then can help that. So here's the hardy, and that's used then for cutting a piece of metal. And the most important thing with the hardy is to make sure it's put away after you're finished with it.